So, welcome everyone to our Global Heart Monday morning resonance call, and also this enveloping umbrella of the connection field. So beautifully, in less than really 10 days to a week, the connection field has really just exploded. People are coming, and people are having an amazing experience, and I'll be sharing a little bit more about that. So for those that are new, I just want to share a little bit about good of the whole and a little bit about the connection field. So really, as planetary stewards committed to good of the whole, we're just coming together to foster an ever-expanding field of love and connection. And we're here cultivating this beautiful ethos of wholeness, whereby we come together in the safe space and really embody and embrace this place of feeling valued, connected, and whole. And this particular call is a practice. It's where we come together and we consciously listen to what we're describing, people are describing as the unified field or the quantum field, this field of intelligence that in this experience we are being informed, and through that information and how it presents itself to us, we then express our fullest expression out back to the field. So today we're here with June Steiner, who is one of the Good of the Whole Resonance Council stewards, and she's so beautifully brought forth this resonant reflection. We are connected. And the way this call works is we always start with a resonance, coming into that full embodied connection of wholeness within ourselves to amplify this field. And then we'll open the call for everyone. I'll share a few guidelines. June will share the reflection into the field, and then we open it up to everyone. And for those of you that are new, we just invite you to take a few minutes, feel into how this call works. And then as you feel that beautiful impulse within you, that love coming forward, to share 1 to 2 minutes. And I'll finish with the guidelines after we start with a beautiful heart resonance. Oh, sorry, a few more are waiting to get in. So let's, hold on, we're just gonna let them in. Give me just 1 minute. Wow, this is interesting. Okay. So again, welcome everyone who's just joined us. Hopefully I can see who keeps coming in. So let's all take a global heart breath together. And just settle into our bodies, resting in this resonant field of love. So we know that we're all energy. We know that through this field of love, through connecting to this sacred chamber of the heart, we feel the sense of our interconnectivity, and just opening our breath, allowing that deeper experience of our aliveness to flow through, to oxygenate our cells. And feel those cells just lighting up, this beautiful crystalline golden light coming down into this radiant light, this effervescence presence, to just fill and expand out to this collective here this morning. You don't need to know anyone. It's a sense of, I love how Nancy always says, the reunion of these are lights. Just feeling into this beautiful field. And just allowing that sense of spaciousness. Just putting aside any tensions or concerns. This is the place to really be nourished, feeling this connection with Gaia, feeling down deep into her central nervous system, her heart chakra, her crystalline nature. And just as a beautiful maple tree absorbs and takes in, and just breathing in all that energy up into our circulatory system, our eco field of love, and allowing our awareness to rise and feel that expanded consciousness, this vastness of the field itself, this living Akash of which we are one. And just breathing that in and breathing that down in back to our heart. And we just begin this morning in this field of connection with gratitude. Really being poised for that shared purpose, really serving and living for the good of the whole. As one body, one collective, here together. And very gently coming back into the space. Taking a look at this beautiful tapestry of love for those who are, it looks like we're all on video today. So just taking a moment and appreciating each other and how we're showing up in the world. So beautiful. And with that, I'm going to just share just a couple of guidelines and hand it quickly over to June. So just for those that are here, and for us to remember who've been here for over 8 years, we just invite you to say your name and speak 1 to 2 minutes. Speak from the essence, from your heart to the center of the circle. And here we're really shifting from the I to the we. So when we're speaking in present time from our direct experience, we're sharing the bottom line insight, and really what is it that you're present to? What is emerging for you in the moment? And consciously listening to how this golden thread or this wave of energy is moving. And we invite you to share, and after sharing, simply just, what we love here is the pause. We invite a pause to really deepen and integrate this field of love into our bodies and into our hearts. So with that, really simple, pass it over to June and we'll hear the reflection for the day, for the week, I guess.
Good morning, everyone. I bring our heart in this morning for our reflection. And it's called We Are Connected, a poem called A Pandemic by Lynn Ungar. What if you thought of this time as the Jews consider the Sabbath, the most sacred of times? Cease from travel, cease from buying or selling. Give up, for now, on trying to make the world different than it is. Sing, pray, touch only those to whom you commit your life. Center down, and when your body has become still, reach out with your heart. Know that we are connected in ways that are terrifying and beautiful. You could hardly deny it now. Know that our lives are in one another's hands. Surely that has become clear. Do not reach out your hands. Reach out your heart. Reach out your words. Reach out all the tendrils of compassion that move invisibly where we cannot touch. Promise this world your love, for better or for worse, in sickness and in health, so long as we shall live. Just stay for a moment with that. beautiful example of how to go deep inside. We're now sensing a growing connection beyond blood or race. We're connected by energy and vibration as we collectively answer life's silent call. As we bring unconditional love and support to these times, as the connection field continues to grow, what moves within the invisible realms of your deepest understanding? And I pass back the talking stick.
Thank you, June. Taking a big breath and of joy, and just feel, as you feel, just jump in, and we just let this field, we just build a field of coherence together. And I'm complete, and acknowledge when you're done by just saying I'm complete, or I'm whole, or I'm not complete but I'm whole, whatever works for you.
Good morning, my family. This is Linda in Indiana. And what is coming up for me from that is it feels like every day is the Sabbath. My tradition is Jewish, and I love the thought of lighting candles on a Friday night and doing no work on Saturday. It doesn't always work that way, but I love the idea. And when I put it in that perspective, that it's a sacred time, it feels like every day is that time to go within. Don't do the work that you normally do. Don't go about your day like you normally do, because the Sabbath is the time for connecting with your God as you know it to be. Yeah. It's just an amazing time out of time. And it's precious. What breaks my heart is knowing that there are people who are suffering so terribly during this time, which is allowing us who are healthy to be even more aware of our ability to energetically connect and send love, send prayers, keep wellness in the forefronts of our minds so that all can feel well. I'm complete.
Kate sends warm greetings from South Dakota, and it just feels like this Holy Week is, it feels a lot holier than it really ever has. And on the heels of every day being the Sabbath. Thank you for being in my Holy Week. And I feel complete.
This is Nahid from Boulder. I would like to pick up this thread of sacredness of our life as I'm hearing it. it reminded me of the couple of nights ago as I was sitting for the global galactic meditation. And the question was for me the sacredness of life, the sacredness of creation. How could I be in this kind of moment all the time? Do I need something to threaten my life that I would be present to that? And actually seeing us, seeing Earth in celebration, in joy of our co-creation. So then, as I'm receiving the people who are not healthy and are suffering, I ask myself, do I celebrate? Can I celebrate out of that compassion for me and others? Or the compassion means I have to be sad and consider what is happening. So I don't know. This is the question that is in here. I would like to imagine that the earth is in celebration and out of compassion with all that is happening, that we call it planetary awakening. I am singing and dancing in tears, in joy, in sadness, all of it. I am celebrating it out of compassion. I am complete.
Oh, go ahead, Jess.
Linda said something about wellness, and what came to mind was the I versus the we, and the way that the word wellness starts with we and the word illness starts with I, and this the separation versus the unity. And so that just arose for me, but also I wanted to share this, which my attention was drawn to this yesterday, and it's a statue that I bought in St David's Cathedral. I can't remember where it's made, but it is basically a Mobius strip, an infinite, ever continuing Mobius strip. And I awoke in the middle of the night and I just was thinking about this, and so that's just, I just want to share my little rose quartz heart and my little statue and just let them speak for themselves. I am complete.
Morning, everybody. This is Tammy in upstate New York, and Jess, thank you for those symbols. That really resonates with me too. The rose quartz and the infinity just keep coming up, But I want to take a moment to just let us all feel our feet on the ground and be really grounded. And take a breath and look up, looking up. Let us fall up into this space. There's something about that ta-da pose that you see the Olympians do. You know, the research and the science has shown that that is an uplifting movement. It generates that energy that is uplifting to our hearts. So I just want us to all embrace that. And I'm going to share a synchronicity that I had with my sister. Yes, there you go. I'm sorry, I don't have my video on. I'm going to figure out how to get that on my phone. But my sister and I have synchronicities all the time. And Saturday, 4/4/2020, we both had a synchronicity where she came across a mourning dove that was unconscious, that she revived and brought back, healed, and restored. And I came across one, and we don't live together, that just caught my eye out in my backyard. This bird, honest to God, breast. I mean, it was just shining, and I've never seen this before. And my sister shared her story with me yesterday, and I just went, boom, what is this telling us? And I just feel like, you know, the mourning dove, that coo that it has is a symbol of our grief, that we are losing so many of our human family right now in this crisis. But it's also this amazing symbol of spirit, hope, and love through history. So I just feel like that is so significant that we need to keep our focus on the hope and what we want to create. Because even just this morning in the media in New York, they're talking about the crisis is going to come to a peak this week, and they're talking about it's going to be like a 9/11 moment or a Pearl Harbor moment. And just before I got on this call, I realized, wow, New York City is the epicenter. I feel like their intergenerational trauma is not healed. Like and even by saying this is like a 9/11 moment, I feel like that's bringing back all of this negative energy to the situation. That is, hopefully we can shift that into, let's heal this. Let's heal this past to move forward into the future. Like, I feel like that is really necessary. So I don't know if any of that resonates with anybody, but I just felt I wanted to share that today. And I love you all so much. I send you deep love and light through this. So I'm complete.
This is Shelley. I'm just going to jump in for a minute. Just feeling all of you as the tendrils that that poem was talking about, and that poem encompasses everything that was just being shared, and the compassion. And the one line that really was popping out for me was, promise the world your love. Just promise the world your love. Like, what does that mean? You know, in times of like this, in times of despair, in times of separation. I mean, in some ways there's always separation, or there are moments of separation. And are we willing to sort of, to me that poem exudes like, are we willing to encompass the whole? Are we willing to like feel those feelings deeply? I don't know about you, but in my life I would used to do anything to jump over those feelings, you know. And oh my God, this is coming. So interesting enough, someone was having a conversation with John last night, and we were talking about, someone came and was asking about, well, you guys aren't talking about the shadow. You're just talking about the love, you know, this is possibly a spiritual overlay. And I think it's perfect for to have this poem here this morning, you know, this pandemic. And yet within that poem, it says, promise the world your love. Like, what is that? Why? What is it? Is love practical? Is it tangible? Is it something that can change how people feel and lift them up? And so I just feel sort of, I was feeling really chaotic getting on this call because of all the things that were happening. It was like a 3-ring circus. It wasn't just a 1-ring happening as usual. But listening to each one of you and feeling this field just, you know, showering us, bathing us, to really give us that sense of nourishment and vitality and focus. I don't think about that much with this call, but it's true. It's an opportunity to tune in to the invisible, tune in to this emergent field that is feeling us, is supporting us to be our fullest expression. And like what was just being shared, more than just me as an individual, but us as a collective. And I think that's what I really love about coming here, is that I can feel that. And when I walk out that door, you walk with me. So thank you, I'm complete. And I put the crystal in. Whoop, we actually have, actually, this is a pelican feather. We'll put the pelican feather in the center.
Morning, everyone. This is John in Boulder, Colorado. Looking around the space and this, as we call it, the tapestry and all the different faces, there's a term in it's actually a scientific term, came out of quantum physics, called entanglement. I don't know if anyone is familiar with that term, entanglement. In my earlier life, entanglement was really a negative word in my mind. It was like, wow, I want to get free of any entanglement. Well, in this scientific term, entanglement, it's an absolute quantifiable phenomenon that, moving from the individual to the we consciousness, is that we are entangled. And we have different forms of the entanglement. With your husband or wife or lover or whatever, you come together because there's an entanglement there. We, in this incredibly beautiful group, we are entangled. And what we're entangled with is the resonant field. And it started from before the Big Bang, but at the Big Bang, everything that showered out from that was entangled with that infinite moment. Down to galaxies, down to solar systems, down to Earth, down to all life on planet Earth, and to us. We are all entangled. Now, another part of that is each of us has a different phenomenology, a different way of looking at the universe. And yet, when we're entangled, we all have the capacity to experience everything that ever has been and ever will be in unison together. So people were talking before, we can feel the misery of those that are dying from this, and those that are have lost their jobs and lost their homes, and we're entangled with that emotion. We're also entangled with the love that we all share and we are encompassing. We're entangled with everything simultaneously, and it becomes our group entanglement, to raise the vibration of the information coming from the resonant field of love, for the healing of all of the misery, for all of that discord that is happening right now on the planet. If we want to say it, it's our job. It's our gifted job. And so we can focus on the misery, or we can focus and remain entangled in the energy field of the love coming from the resonant field. Both are absolutely held in the whole space. Shelley was just saying about dealing with the shadow material. Well, we all have shadow material, and that is what has not come to consciousness yet, that may be ruling our lives, that we in us that we're not conscious of. Well, in fact, this coronavirus has leveled that playing field. We are beginning to experience all of those sensations and all those feelings and all the fear and everything else that has been shadow is now having a light being put upon it. And the light in your heart is the brightest star shining that, because it's entangled with the love of the resonant field. And together, the we of us enhance that frequency. And we are sharing for the healing and for the remembering of the natural order of this planet. And I am overwhelmed with gratitude to be entangled with all of you. And as our numbers grow, we have only one task, to remember the unified field, the love field, together in a growing task force of love, to remember the natural order of Mother Earth, the natural order of the gift of being human on this planet. And we share that. We are one body. We are one field that is held in this love space. And let us feel the sorrow. Let us feel all of the emotions that are painful, because those also hold the love. The love is coming through all of those expressions. Nothing gets left out of here. The shadow, the light, it's all being held in the resonant field, that as we open our hearts, we receive that information, and then we can reflect that back out to the world. So in this 9/11 moment that's coming in New York or wherever, if we hold the expanded love energy field of this unification together and become that we instead of the me, it will have an effect. It does have an effect. It is having an effect on all that is happening globally right now. So again, incredible gratitude to feel my heart expanded by your love and your openness to this higher vibration for the good of the whole. And I'm complete.
Thank you all for being here. This is Elizabeth. That sharing opens what I've been feeling, that unity consciousness that we all are connecting into, that resonant field, that love. It is quantum. It is quantum. It is quantum love. And what is quantum? It's when the observer does affect always the observed. In our loving to our greatest capacity, we are affecting all that we observe. The wider we hold our observation, the wider the net of life we embrace in this love, the more impact our love will carry. Some of these faces I know from my journey, and I love you all. And those faces I'm meeting now, I love you all. I remember each and every one of you. And those of you that know me as a water faithful. We are each entangled by the hydrogen bond. There is no escaping this. There is no denying this. This is the truth that is hiding in plain sight. And I want you each to place your hand on your heart and feel that heartbeat. Our heart is not really a pump. Our heart is stopping the blood flow with each beat. It pauses it for an instant. And in this moment of our heartbeat, we can remember who we really are. As our blood, our life, water, flows and nourishes our bodies. This is the same for every living being on earth. Life is water. When you think of a virus, we tend to think of it as a microbe, as a bacteria, of a living creature, as a life form. But a virus is something different. It is fragments of DNA, of RNA being thrown off and changing the world. It changes the world around it. This virus, I will offer a perspective that has not been spoke of, but this virus is the water's message to us that she is ill and needs healing. This is the message for the world. And we are the immune response as we apply our quantum love to the planet and to all life. So thank you each for this moment and for this planetary pause as we remember who we are. We begin again. And we begin in remembrance of our sacred relationship to water and to all life.
Good morning, everybody. From Southern California, Nancy. I have been talking about the reunion of these year lights for many, many years. And it's so interesting because I feel like we are having the biggest reunion ever. But I didn't picture it to feel like this. when I used to think about the reunion of your lights, it was a little bit of a more of a joyful celebration feeling, not something with so much mourning in it. But nevertheless, this is a reunion. And so there's beauty in it. And I loved reading the poem this morning, as I too have the Jewish tradition. Just that little shift of thinking that this is, you know, like a Sabbath rest. That was really big for me. And also yesterday, I received news that my aunt in New York passed away. She was my favorite aunt. She was my mother's sister. They were like clones of each other. We were very, very close. She was 101. She didn't pass away from the virus, but she did pass away because she was healthy. She's got an infection in her foot, and there were no medical people to come assist her. And she was told not to go to the hospital because there wouldn't be a bed for her. And they would have to make a choice between a 101-year-old woman or a 40-year-old person who needed the help. So there's a lot of mourning going on. There was a lot of mourning going on in general for all these things we've talked about. And now I personally have this mourning going on. And I'm remembering another Jewish tradition that when someone passes away, there is a mourning period. There's that period of, there's a week where you really just let people take care of you. And it reminded me that we are really needing and are taking care of each other as well. This other Jewish tradition is that when somebody dies, they bury them right away. And I always thought that was because that the Jews don't embalm. But my rabbi, when my mother passed away a few years ago, told me there was another reason. And that was that you cannot really fully start your grieving period until the burial. That's when the grieving starts. That's when you light this particular candle. That's when you start that process. And in my aunt's case, she's on a waiting list for her funeral of 20 other people first, and there'll only be 5 people allowed to come to the funeral. And I'm just thinking there's going to be a very long period that I remembered. It didn't relieve like the pressure cooker. You just didn't start that process. And I'm thinking about that in this whole pandemic is, you know, when can we really start the grieving process? We're just waiting for the completion. We're waiting for the burial. We're waiting to start the process of healing. And so I just appreciated hearing this morning that metaphor of the Sabbath, because it just helped me see some beauty in everything that's going on. And I'm just grateful to have, I know many, many, many of you were with me when my mother was passing away and helped me so much. And this was my mother's sister, who is just like a mother to me, a second mother. I mean, she lived a long, beautiful life, 101. I'm just happy to be with you today to help me reframe, you know, the blessings and the joy, and to give focus to this reunion of your lights that's coming in a way we never would have expected, but we're at the reunion. We've been at the reunion a long time, all of us on this call, and the world is coming into the reunion, and I'm grateful. Thank you.
I'm just going to pop in here because there's a lot of people on the call, and just want to invite people to who haven't shared. On this call, you can actually come back in as you feel that impulse. But for today, as we're getting towards the hour, I just want to make sure that everyone has a chance to share here today. So for those of us that I'm going to start a little bit early to to just hold the field for the others to speak. And for those that are speaking, just really hold to the bottom line and speak 1 to 2 minutes so that we can just keep this beautiful wave motion, this entangled love continuing. So with that, I put this amazing pelican feather. There's a story to that, but I'm not telling it. So I'm complete.
Hello, everyone. I'm Stacy. It's an honor to be here and to meet all of you. Yeah, Shelley and I live in the same building, and we met a few days ago and have a very, very interesting connection that we discovered. But Nancy, I wanted to offer you my deepest condolences. I'm Jewish as well. And this is a minion of sorts this morning for you. And your Shiva period will begin when your aunt is buried. But I couldn't help but think, you know, there's the 7-day Shiva period. And your rabbi has probably mentioned this to you, but it ends with a walk outside to signify life continuing, your life continuing on. And then a 30-day period of not doing anything. No, well, not doing anything, but no parties, no celebrating, no going to plays or movies. And we kind of have that now anyway. And this beautiful prayer, this beautiful poem that I've been reading in my yoga classes, I found it through a friend who found it on a Jewish website. It was written by a Unitarian minister. So this poem is absolutely having the impact that it was meant to have in reminding us that we're all in this together. We're all, and we can't deny it. And it is a Sabbath of sorts. And not only to bring us all together, but to bring us in deeper relationship with ourselves. I teach Kundalini Yoga, and one of the core phrases is Satnam. Satnam means I'm truth. Truth is my identity. And we have this incredible opportunity to go deep within ourselves and to become in more loving and self-compassionate relationship with our Satnam. I'm complete.
Hi, everybody. This is Sharon in New Jersey. What a beautiful gathering. And I want to pick up the theme of, I want to just thank, wonderful to meet you, Stacy, and Nancy, I'm with you. And so much one could say. My daughter's in New York, and she called yesterday and told us that they found out the landlady had passed with complications due to COVID. So suddenly they're on uncertainty about that, and she was quite upset. And I'm aware, Grace, I want to acknowledge your tears, that I see you and that I'm with you. I don't know if everybody can see everyone on the screen. I can right now. And this morning I spent time reading a book that was created about a hospital, a community hospital in Warwick, Rhode Island in Kent County that my father founded in 1945. They made the plan for this, and it grew and grew and grew. And this was in 2000, they wrote a book about the first 50 years of this hospital. And my dad was chief of surgery there for many years, and he died like in the early 70s. And I cried and cried this morning, just connecting. And the story of this hospital, put me more deeply in touch with what the hospitals are going through right now. And the people that, the whole theme of this book was all about, that the lifeblood of this hospital for all of its time has been the people and the community and the people that work there. And that's true going on right now. So I'm very aware of that, of the overload on the resources, of the sorrowing, and of the just incredible love and dedication and commitment and service that's going on. So I really love, Elizabeth, what you said. I mean, John, we're talking about entanglement and connection and the water, and our tears take that right home for me. That's part of our connection, is our tears. So I'm complete.
Good morning. This is Deborah in Tucson, barefoot in my backyard with my birds. And I just wanted to touch base very quickly. Amazing, heart-opening energy that always happens on this call. So grateful. And as I open all the gifts of this time, what has come to me most recently is about allowing, as the shadow rises, that we are bringing the shadow and the light together into unity inside of ourselves. And so it is. Thank you.
Good morning. This is June from California. And with what everyone has been talking about today, that place between pure comfort and love and that other side that requires us to be so aware of what the world itself is going through and all the other people in it that don't have what we might have. And so the words in the prayer that say, know that we are connected in ways that are terrifying and beautiful, is such a perfect sentence about the depth and the breadth of this kind of love, and that it exists within everything. And it's sometimes easier to feel that love or to respond to that love when it's beautiful. But when it's terrifying, such as the way it is for many, many people today, I think it's even more important for us to be present to that love that we can send to those people who are going through the terrifying times. That's the true sacredness of love, is that it can be given, it can be sent, it can be spread to all those places where love sometimes can't find a space to live. So this is this call and this poem are such beautiful reminders that that the gamut of beauty and terrifying times are all really one. And I'm complete.
Okay, everyone, I'm going to pop in one more time because we are offering the connection field, and you just saw that Grace just left, and Grace and Michelle are holding the space over on the other line, on our Good of the Whole line. I'm just going to invite those people who haven't shared just to bring forth, just pop in with one word or just a small phrase. We just have to honor the time today, and we just carry it all with us. And it's beautiful that we're growing, and we'll play with that. So with that, just inviting you, and then please stay on. We have a beautiful sharing about the connection field, and a beautiful way of spiraling into the next evolution of the next call. So stay on with us. Thank you. I'm complete.
This is Ken from Germantown, Maryland. All I'll say is listen.
Rosemary from Costa Rica, and I would like to say it's such a blessing to be with you all, and that we are the virus of love, as we spread not only within us, but to all around us. We are that. Thank you.
This is Dinah in Southern Oregon. And just to presence ourselves to our collective healing of our historic wounds, our washing our hands, and compassion for one another, and recognizing that movement of healing we are experiencing. I'm complete.
Good morning. This is Talia, and it's so good to be with you guys on this call again. I'm sorry I missed the poem. I hope I can find it somewhere. But I just wanted to thank you for this time together and bless us all in this time. May we all find our way. I think it's going to end good. That's the good news. But I also know that we have sadness. I mean, I just felt a sadness. Sometimes we feel it. I feel it from the earth. I just feel it coming up. There's just I think we resonate with the earth as well as each other. So, and the waters as well, as has been talked about. So just thank you for these reminders and these continuing community that we share so much in this time. So I'm going to keep it short. So
I'll just say something while we're on. So find some joy today in your life. Find some joy somewhere in your life.
And this is Oriana in Tucson. And as an evolutionary empath, we feel deeply what the earth is feeling. And we feel the one heart awakening in love and the brilliance of the future that is coming into being.
Let's see. Take a breath together. Let's take a beautiful pause. And I see Henry. You want to pop in with a word, Henry? Nope. Henry's word is silence. That is really his vibrational field. So we'll take a moment of silence for a moment. So you take a moment while I just want to bring into the field a little bit more about the connection field. So everything, you can find that poem in the digest. I'll also put the whole poem into Good of the Whole Facebook page. I'll put that there in a little bit. So you have the whole poem because we put in part of it. And the connection field, for those of you who have experienced it, it's amazing. For those of you who haven't, it has been this undulating wave, expanding wave of this call, really. The experience that you're having on this call, you can pop in for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 3 hours. And it is really expanding my experience of love and life in a way that I couldn't imagine. So just invite you to come. We'll work with this number here, but it's all the same number, just so that you know, and 333-108-9333. And the password's really simple. And next week, this call, we'll be using that password and we'll work it out to have it be easier for everybody and myself. And also I just want to mention, because this is all new this week, is the special offerings. Our mentoring stewards are showing up. And tonight with John is Men in Connection. Men only would be really great. And then on Tuesday night, I'm offering Radical Earth Resonance. Some of you are talking about the earth and the field and healing. And so we'll be playing with dowsers and alchemists. And even if that's not who you are, come on and join us. We're going to go really open that field of wholeness in a new way. The healing field with Julie, Rumi's field with Nahid and Ken, Sound Connection on Friday with Henry Lepler, and Saturday for those of you that are couples or in intimate partnership with Glenn and Marion Head. And Linda is continuing her evening Japa Mala meditation. So, and then I came on this call from a beautiful half-hour call at 10 a.m. Eastern with Julie Downs and a beautiful resonance and coherence meditation. It's absolutely gorgeous. So with that, I just want to say thank you. Everyone take yourselves off mute. And hands across the water. Let's just bring our hands on, feeling our field, connecting with each other. And we can all undo you can feel free to undo your mic. And we'll just do a beautiful yum, choir of yum. 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 Thank you for joining us. And Wednesday is our public coherence call. Please invite people. Am I right? I might be wrong. I don't know. No, it's not. All right. Well, become a mentoring steward and come join us.
Would you please repeat the password for the connection?